Hello, Millwall fans. Paul Eiffel here. It's time for Chat with Chaps.
Post-match, I'm not going to call this analysis because it's not going to be reaction, rant, whatever you want to call it. For Chat with Chaps, sponsored by Spectrum VR, where it's just finished. Birmingham City 4, Millwall 0. Quite honestly, an absolutely diabolical performance, barring the first 5 or 10 minutes. It was horrendous. And quite frankly, Birmingham were 4 goals better than us, at least. And that's embarrassing to say. For me, the lineup was wrong. The shape was wrong. The intensity was wrong. The attitude was wrong. The mentality was wrong. And I think everyone's to blame. I think the only person for me that comes out with any credit tonight is Billy Mitchell. I think the rest, for various different reasons, had an off night. There were some that were worse than others. But Alex Neil, for me, has got to take a massive amount of that on the chin as well. I think he got completely outdone tactically. The amount of times that Birmingham found themselves with a spare man over on their right and our left was absolutely shocking. This is going to be very short and sweet. I'm not going to do a play-by-play, but I will do the normal. Please give us a like right now. I won't lie, to come on and do this after being up since before 5 a.m, working all day, going to that. And then quite frankly, I'll be honest, I left on 70 minutes. So if anyone saw me leave, fine, you can tell me that, because I'm sorry, if the players can't be asked to put performance in, I can't be asked to stick around. I can't believe I'm even bothering to do this, but that's what you do if you sign up to run a podcast. You have to come on here, and no matter what happens. And the thing that's really concerning for me is this is not the first time we get hammered. You know, we lost 3-0 at home to Borough. We lost 4-0 to Coventry. We lost, was it 5-1 to Plymouth, which tonight smacked of, by the way. We've got a thumping in us, and we don't really do the reverse often. And I think that's something that Alex Neil needs to take on the chin, because it's, you could be screaming at me here, but I can't remember too many times us getting thumped under Neil Harris and Gary Rowett. And you might be like, yeah, we did. Here's example X, Y, and Z. But we didn't, to my memory and recollection. Whereas under Alex Neil, it's happened a few times. And I think he and JP Millwall summarised this to perfection on Twitter. He's a very good manager. And I firmly believe that. And I think we're very, pleased to have him. And we're very lucky, you know what I mean? Like it's good that we've got him, but one game in every 10, he will make a huge cock up in the way he sets us up. And tonight was that. The lineup for me was wrong. I said it before, and I think tonight proved it. Wes Harding is not a championship right back. I'm sorry, he's not. He's a wonderful man. And he will always give everything. There's no denying that. But quite frankly, he's not good enough. I think you saw that tonight. I think he was at fault for the second goal. I'm not just picking on Wes. I'm just going to give a few examples of where there is such a drop-off. And I feared this would happen from that right-hand side on Saturday to where it is now. How much of a different team do we look without Femi Aziz going forwards? We haven't got a clue. How many goals have we scored with Femi Aziz in the team versus without? How many goals have we conceded? We've conceded 6 goals since Femi Aziz got injured on Saturday. That is, it's just bonkers. I think you just see today as well how much we miss Ryan Leonard. And, I've said all summer we need a right back. And quite frankly, was Ryan Leonard ever going to be fit enough for the whole season? So I know, Mr. Berrison took the time out to explain the decision about to me QPR about why we didn't sign a right back, and I understand some of that rationale. But you look at tonight, and it's just, well, it smacks of needing that. Or play Tristan Cram at right back, which is what I would have done. Like the lineup was just wrong to not start. We still have a £3 million centre back on the bench. I thought he was coming on at half time because he was out. And I thought, change of shape. Let's bring him on. Let's bring Langstaff on and let's go 3-5-2. And we didn't. I mean, the fact that I think it got to 4-0 down and we'd made one sub, or was it 3-0 down and one sub? Which I think was, I was about to say Maku, apparently, according to the Birmingham Tannoy announcer, Adomo Ikaku was the player. But quite frankly, he summarised his performance when he took a corner, didn't beat the first man, the ball come back over to him, and he then controlled it out of play. So this is the drop off when we don't have our first team players. It is so stark. Kamil Negley is not a winger. I think he proved on Saturday that he can be effective in a 10, but yet we put him back on the wing, this time on the left. Ballo, it's like his evil twin turned up because on the right-hand side, he was horrendous tonight. He didn't want to take anyone on. It was just, we were clearly trying to tuck Negley in on the left and have Joe Bryan, because especially in the first half, he was so far forward, but it just left us so exposed. We were just so light down that left-hand side. We have too many players that are, I was going to use the term luxury, but I don't know if luxury is the right word. We have too many players that aren't up for a scrap. And in games like tonight, you've got to have players that are up for a scrap. And we haven't. Like, Kundal hasn't done badly, but he's not that player. Negley is not that player. Quite frankly, Ivanovic is not that player. There's too many. Ballo isn't that player. There's too many lightweight players. And when you go into games like games tonight, where you've got a Birmingham team that are high off of a 4-0 win, that's 2 now, they've got 4-0s against Portsmouth. They're at home, full crowd. They're right up for it. They are a very hard-working team. They're all over us. And we looked bang average because we couldn't deal with their press. We couldn't deal with the intensity. We couldn't match it. We couldn't match their fight. And then on top of that, they were clinical when they had their chances. Like I said, I left on 70, but I think other than one very nearly moment in the second half, they pretty much scored every time they broke. And fair play to them. Like, you have to commend them. They were excellent. And we were piss poor. It was so embarrassing. And the thing is, and someone could fact check me this on this in the comments. It has been too long now and too many managers where we cannot get points when we go a goal down. It's the mentality. There's something in that. I don't know what it is, and I'm not going to sit here and start throwing players under the bus. And this is the problem, right? We say, "Oh, Jake Cooper, a legend, amazing," and then we start, he's not a proper captain. He's not laying into people. Blah 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 blah. To me, Jake Cooper is still a legend just because he may have not had the best game tonight. But the point is, there is clearly something fundamentally wrong mentality-wise, because unless we get that first goal, we don't win games and we don't pick up points. And that's wrong. I wouldn't have started with Ivanovic. I said that the other night. He did. Ivanovic looks like a lost puppy playing up front on his own. He either has to play Langstaff with him, which then, by the way, you don't have another striker. So the fact that we didn't bring in another striker is now coming back to bite us on the arse. We've got to invest in January, guys. We need to invest in a right back and we need to invest in that striker. Like, we are so light there. We still find ourselves fourth in the table somehow, but we probably got about a -8 goal difference again. It's bizarre. When we're bad, we're really bad. When we're good, we're pretty good, but we never look like thumping teams. Whereas we always look like we're one game away, or not one game away, but we always look like we could take a hiding. And obviously we did tonight. I might have already said it, I don't know, but the only player for me that comes out of, with any credit, is Billy Mitchell. Other than that, at the end of the day, they were taking the piss out of us and we were wide open. And when we started to chase the game, it opened up more space for them. It just slapped of the Plymouth game. And like I said, I think every player needs to look at themselves. And I think Alex Neil does. I think he got the team wrong. He got the shape wrong. He wasn't quick enough to change it. It was just kind of like, which isn't good enough. Especially for including myself, the 1,200 fans that went travelling there. That was a piss poor performance. Our unbeaten away run comes to an abrupt end. So yeah, look, that's it. I'm not doing my play-by-play. I can't bring myself to do it. I'm sure Angelo will take great pleasure in going through those goals. But all that to say, tonight was quite simply a pathetic performance. Reminded me a bit of the first half against Charlton. Charlton, as much as we don't like them, and I don't think they've got much quality, very well organised, very well drilled, up for a scrap. And we weren't, and a better team would have punished us. They didn't. Birmingham did because they've got better players, and it's just smacks of that. We've got too many players now. We've over-rotated to too many lightweight players, and I think in games like tonight, you can see that, and that's where you need someone who can take the game by. We need more Billy Mitchells, quite frankly, I guess is what I'm saying. Someone like Luongo would have been better out there tonight. Obviously, I know he's injured and whatever. Yeah, really, really poor. Bad day at the office. I'm hoping what happens is we get a big reaction against Preston on Saturday so that we can go into the next international break and still be in the top 6 somehow. But I just don't see how we create chances and score goals without Aziz. We didn't carry a threat all night, and we are so one-dimensional without him. I felt Ivanovic in the first half tried a bit more tonight, but still didn't really do much. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. It's rare that I'll come in here and say that another team with 4 goals better than us, and they were tonight. That was a more comprehensive loss than the one against Coventry. We were totally outplayed, outfought both in terms of fault, in terms of thinking, and also outfought in terms of muscle, aggression, passion, fight, drive, again, with the exception of Billy Mitchell. So, look, I'm going to leave it there because I could just repeat the same stuff over again. Apologies, it's not a normal post-match analysis. I've tried to remain calm, but difficult. I think the club owe us a performance on Saturday, especially all the 1,200 that travelled up there, because that was pathetic, to be honest. Yeah, roll on Saturday. Look, as always, thank you for watching. I also just want to say a couple of shout outs as well, if you're still managing to listen to me. So just want to say hi to Des and Mick. It was obviously nice to see you. I want to say a massive happy birthday to Charlie. Really sorry that we didn't give you the performance, mate, that you deserved here on your birthday, but sending you birthday wishes, buddy. And also just a big thank you to Paul. Paul, you'll know who you are and why I'm thanking you. Obviously wasn't able to join you tonight, but really meant a lot. So thank you very much. And as always, thank you everyone who listens to this dross that I've just done for 30 minutes. This is crap, but it wasn't as bad as the performance. So with that, have a great rest of your week. See you down and Den on Saturday. And as always, bye for now.
Hi, it's Steve Morrison here, and you're listening to Chat with Chaps, chatting Millwall, come rain or shine.